Okay, I know it really doesn't sound all that great, eggs poached in salsa, but I tell you what, this dish is really delicious. And I've been making it, oh golly, I guess nearly 40 years now. I am not necessarily one to write down ingredients or proportions. I know how big this skillet is and how many eggs I plan on putting in it. So that's kind of what I'm going to be using today. And there will be ingredients at a list of ingredients at the end of this video. So you don't have to write this down or worry about it unless you just want to take some notes. But you can always go back and look at it again. All right. So what I'm going to do now is take a medium-sized onion and I'm going to chop it up pretty finely and dice it and put it into the skillet to saute. And this will be, you can use what you've got. In the summertime, I would be using fresh ingredients. I'd be using fresh tomatoes and chiles and stuff out of the garden. But this, I'm filming in the middle of December, or actually toward that, very close to Christmas. And I don't have the fresh garlic, and so I'm just making do with what I've got in the pantry and what I've got in the fridge. Okay, I just woke up this morning and decided this is what I was hungry for. So I'm dicing the onion and I'm making it pretty fine. I will also cook this down until the onion is nice and translucent and soft. I'm putting in some olive oil, probably maybe, about a tablespoon. Enough to be sure that I can saute both these onions and this tomato mixture. The heat is going to be on medium heat. And I will probably, and don't worry about this, I'm going to be slowing that down so you can see those ingredients. But here I'm sauteing the onion, and obviously I am speeding up the presentation here, so it's not in real time. I got a buy on Rotel in a jar, and I've got about a 16-ounce jar, or rather 2 cups of salsa. It happened to be pretty mild salsa. This was a breakfast for my daughter and I, and we like our stuff picante. So it wasn't nearly spicy enough, and we wound up getting some hot sauce and adding to this at the table, So you make it to taste. Anyway, I'm sauteing those onions, and then I will add the Rotel. And I really like it very tomatoey and ample. So I also augmented this with a little small can of the tomato sauce. And my spices, it's chili powder and garlic powder and cumin, ground cumin. And again, like I said, I don't spoon, I tend to shake. And I just keep shaking until I look at the color and the smell. I've never really measured it out. I just put a generous shake of free-flowing garlic powder and chili powder. I go back a couple of times with the chili powder, and I would imagine, if I'm guessing, it's probably about a teaspoon of chili powder or more. Maybe half a teaspoon, a quarter to half a teaspoon of cumin. Depends on your taste, what you like. I actually didn't salt or pepper this. The chilies is going to go for the picante, or the warm part. For me, canned vegetables usually have enough salt in them. And we're going to be putting this on top of a tortilla chip base, and the tortilla chips are salty. I did have some fresh cilantro, so I'm chopping that. I'm reserving part of it for garnish, and part of it I'm putting in the mixture and letting it cook down. I love cilantro. I will use cilantro instead of lettuce on a sandwich. I love cilantro. But that's not to everybody's taste. So again, you can leave it out, or You can bump it and add extra. That's going to be totally up to you and your taste buds. And in real time, this has probably been cooking for 8 to 10 minutes. I'm rolling a lime because I'm going to use that in a minute. And what I've taken is my eggs, and I'm actually using the little tomato can. And I'm just cracking them outside the mixture in case I wind up with a little bit of shell. You can do that in a bowl or whatnot, but anyway, like I said, I'm going to be floating 6 eggs into this, and I space them far enough apart to where they're not touching. They're all cooking individually. And I think this particular one, I actually broke the yolk, stick it in the middle, and then I get a lid off of one of my stock pots, and it's a clear one, so I can kind of see what's going on. I turn the heat down. You don't want to be doing this medium heat while you're doing your eggs, because I can't stir it, and I want the steam from the mixture to help to cook those eggs. So I've turned the heat down to a simmer. And again, this is not in real time. It takes 3 to 5 minutes for these eggs to cook, and I watch them. I like mine. I prefer mine a little bit runny. Some people want theirs thoroughly cooked. I just pull mine out a little bit early. I'm taking a bowl and I'm crushing some tortilla chips into it. And then on top of that, I'm sprinkling cheese mixture, the 3 cheese mix. And then I'm going to take my, there I am again, doing my second bowl. And a sprinkle of cheese. And I've got some guacamole on the side. I've got some sour cream on the side. I messed up and got runny eggs all over my little reserve of cilantro. So I'm going to pick that up and move it, trash it, and get some fresh cilantro. I'm going to do that. And I've got lime for the garnish, for the end garnish. But anyway, I've got these bowls with some crushed tortilla chips. And I'm going to spoon out 2 eggs per bowl and ample helping of that tomato mixture that's been simmering. And again, if you had roasted tomatoes and or roasted chilies, I'm topping this now with a dollop of avocado, guacamole, and then some sour cream on top of that. Here goes the cilantro, coming back with another cutting board. I'll just do that. You know, this was very impromptu, obviously. I'm a very relaxed cook, and you're probably going to need to be a veteran cook as well to follow along with this, since I don't put the proportions down. Oh, mercy. Okay, so I'm topping it with fresh cilantro, and then I'm taking the second bowl. I'm doing that, and then we've got 2 eggs left over, and we might fight over those, or depending, we can save those, and I'll reheat them another day. It's really good reheated. And again, topping it with fresh cilantro. It's so nice. And then I'm taking a fresh lime and cutting it. That is definitely coming from my experience down in Mexico. We're very, very generous with the use of fresh lime juice on so many things, in particular soups. I mean, if you haven't ever tried it, you should. And here's the list of the ingredients. Medium onion oil to saute the onions and the tomatoes, a can of Rotel, an additional can of tomato sauce, chili powder, garlic powder, cumin. I've got chopped cilantro that I put in and sauteed, and then on my eggs, guacamole, sour cream, and then, I mean, you can top this with chopped onion or radishes or fresh peppers. You know, it's very versatile and yummy. Enjoy.